You're watching the Nanyang Championships here. We're getting ready to go into game number 3 of Secret versus Vici Gaming. A hell of a series so far, but gentlemen, there's another series going on right now. I'm not talking Pokemon, but red versus blue. Who's winning right now, Lumi? Come on, okay.
Okay, all right. Real talk. The vote's on blue.
Votes on blue?
Bob Ross.
Bob Ross for life. Anyways, actually about the series here, we'll talk more about game number 2, gentlemen. What do you think? Do you think Pylai Dai would be considered the unsung hero of that game? Lots of big steals from the Rubik, good setup.
He was level 6 when Batriser is level 11. Like, his early game was not the best, which is, I think, kind of where Rubik has a very tough time. But as the game got rolling, he got item too, and that's where Rubik shined. So
it was
unsung
more,
hero, yes.
It was more their team play and like their smokes that caught Vici off guard that really cemented the victory for Secret.
And on that note, yeah, that big smoke play to mid lane where they almost caught Vici right at the front doorstep right there. Clearly just threw them off their game. Wouldn't you say so, Winner?
Yeah, I think they just managed to outplay and outmaneuver much better than compared to Vici. Vici just got caught with their pants down too many times there and losing the gem. I think it was the fight before they got caught at the doorstep by the Doom. They lost their gem previously, so they just lost out too much map control with the few smoke gangs. I think the 2 or 3 smoke gangs that they made there.
That fight also really forced Super's item build to be changed. Like, he had an early Yules, was doing pretty good, and then had to get a BKB second just so that the Blink Wraith King wasn't a problem. But towards the end of the game, we saw multiple BKBs being used on the side of Secret, and the Lina couldn't do anything because of the lack of Aghanim. So that was a real turning point in the game. It did take Secret like 20 more minutes to finish the game, and it was really close towards the end, and I think that speaks to the strength of the Vici lineup, right?
Yeah, and I think we even talk about how much they had against the BKB of the Shadow Fiend, but the Lina Aghanims didn't even come at all.
Yeah.
Like, until, did she even get it at the later
I don't
stage?
think so.
She didn't even manage to finish that item, which would have been really crucial if he had a much better start, gotten the item on a much better timing. You can't actually have the Shadow Fiend stand up front like that if the Lina had Aghanims early.
So what does Vici Gaming take away from that game number 2, and how does this influence maybe their drafting a bit going in? You're talking about how Roche seems to be so important in these games. Do you draft around that so you have more control and be able to take objectives and be near that Roche when necessary?
In the coin flip, they actually picked Dire this side, and Secret got first pick. So Roche was a very big problem. They might have to actually first pick AA, I think. If they want it, they need to pick it in the first phase. And
yeah, but the other important thing as well, if you look back at the first game and the second game, Vici played greedy and they got away with it. Both the games, like even the last game, even though they lost the game, but they got away with the greed early game. They just got punished because they made a couple of really bad mistakes when they got caught by Secret with their smoke rotations. So I feel like if that didn't happen, they would have maybe easily won the late game stage because they were, what, 30,000 gold behind, but the team fights were still really difficult for Secret to win. So imagine if they had a sort of a better early game to mid game. The late game fights would be very easy for Vici to actually win. So I think maybe they could actually look back at the first 2 games and look, oh, we actually can actually get away with being greedy. Secret let us get away with being greedy. Maybe in the third game, they will continue to be greedy and just execute better, make much less mistakes.
But doesn't it seem like Super always gets underfarmed when he's not Alchemist, though? I think that's one of their weaknesses when going up late game versus Secret. You want Lina to have, you know, Bloodstone and then some and Scepter and whatnot, but she never really gets to that point.
All right, well, we'll have to see if they're going to take your advice or not. We do have a draft right now, so why don't we go ahead and hop in for game 3, and, well, we'll have to see where things begin. And as you said, first pick, it's going to be going over to Secret now. So they ban out the Tusk early. We'll see if they do let the Doom out there, but what kind of world are we living in? Doom 0-2 in the grand final so far, so maybe scientists are just baffled.
I felt like both of the games that Doom lost wasn't really Doom's fault. Doom really did his job, but in game 1, Winter pointed out that Doom didn't have enough help. You really need a hardcore initiator from the side of Secret. And game number 2, well, Vici just got punished.
Yeah, I don't think you can say like Doom was like, oh, it's not very useful in this series. It's just like the complementing heroes with the Doom wasn't really the best ones in the first game. I feel like Doom still did a lot of work the last 2 games.
First ban for Vici Gaming. Again, a nod towards Misery and his Slardar, something that Vici Gaming just don't want to have to deal with here. Secret, we'll see if maybe they opt to leave out the Doom for themselves and put their ban instead on something like the Undying. Something that Vici Gaming loved to go for lane dominance. No, a repeat from what we saw in game number 2. A second ban going to be on the Alchemist. Vici Gaming, will they let the Doom through? We'll see. Or do you think they may put more priority in something else, ridding out maybe heavy team fight and high ground control like the Darkseer?
It's really hard to say though. Like SF was also a really big problem. Like right now, Secret is on the Radiant side, so you might also want to consider banning that as well. So it's really tough to say.
Ember Spirit going to be going here, something we've been seeing a lot from typically Envy, but also a little bit from Burning. And for the third game straight, a first pick Doom, now back into the Secret ball court.
I think Vici Gaming will take Undying in one of these two picks. Not only is it one of Fenrir's better heroes, put that Tombstone on the trap on the high ground, and then you get the Rosh advantage. But instead, they're going to go with AA and Clockwork, two heroes that give you Roshan advantage when it comes to vision. Merlini talked about the Ice Vortex. Of course, you have the Clockwork Rocket check in case that Secret do for that mid-game smoke into the Roshan, trying to seek something out. So, and Winter, like you mentioned in game number 1, some key initiation goes well with the AA. Good comfort pick here for Vici.
It's funny, after those 2 Doom games, we have to see a Lich to be paired with it. You'd think that that would have been a hot commodity, but it was ignored and passed by both times.
5 seconds remaining.
Bounty hunter.
Well, Secret actually goes for like BH is like quite good for dealing against AA, because AA wants to sit in a lane. You want to keep pulling, get experience, and Bounty could actually mess that up a lot. So it's a hero that directly shuts down greedy supports like AA.
This has got to be good for maybe the off-lane position here for Vici, knowing that the Bounty Hunter is going to be looking to roam around and add pressure elsewhere. Is there a way Vici Gaming could use that to their benefit to just enhance their lanes a bit further, knowing that he won't be there and ready to help out the safe laner, let's say?
But Clockwork is not the best like dual laner, so like Clockwork usually, even if the enemy runs something greedy, it's kind of hard to dual lane with Clockwork. We saw it from CDAC. They did like Wind Ranger plus Clockwork.
Yeah, I was going to say, and Vici Gaming are one to pull out that crafty FY Wind Ranger.
Yeah, I think if you want to pressure, you have to do a tri-lane, off-lane, and Clockwork safe lane solo. It's very hard to pressure with Clockwork +1.
But then Clockwork doesn't really, like, if you do 1v1 against Doom, you don't really like have a favorable matchup, right? Doom is going to farm more, so it's kind of something you have to consider at the same time.
It's surprising to see Vici pick up Clockwork so early.
Yeah.
Because Ice has a very wide hero pool. Generally, with their early picks, they secure it for Super. I'm not sure why they thought Clockwork was this important early. Because I don't think Team Secret will be banning out Clock.
Oh, they banned out the Meepo here.
Turn to pick.
Maybe they just want to go for a lot of single target focus and heroes that don't really deal with the Meepo very well. But like you mentioned, I think the Clockwork opening this game, it's probably mainly to do with not giving away anything as well. They are not sure of what type of strategies they want to go into the mid game, and Clockwork is just going to fit whatever you want to draft in the next few picks. So that might be the case for them.
Slark.
Whoa.
Slark on Vici Gaming? Don't see that very often.
Well, you could get rid of the Bounty Hunter track very easily.
And not only that, because you can actually deal with like the Doom, because Doom has a very long cast range with the ultimate, so you can actually use your spells to really delay and stop the Doom from casting his ultimate on you. And you can actually kill the Doom if you're far ahead enough before he actually casts his ultimate on you.
Plus, they have the benefit of the AA being on their team. The Spirit Breaker had already been eliminated, so typically a good counter for something like the Slark. And I have to agree, this is still just an interesting trend from Vici Gaming in the draft. Pulling out a Slark just seems a bit early. You already mentioned the Clockwork. Can't help but feel like something's fishy there.
I mean,
no pun intended.
Puppey normally, Winter pointed out, draft very stun light. So Slark automatically a very good hero. One of Secret's best hero is Spain, and not exactly a good pick against Slark. So now Disruptor, another one of Secret's best support heroes.
It's very good versus Slug, like you mentioned. Like Slug gets control, and you can't dark pack away from the glimpse, and you get trapped in the silence. It's very troublesome for Slug to deal with Disruptor. You usually don't want to go early BKBs, but against Disruptor, it's something to consider that you might have to go BKB maybe after one item. Maybe after your SMY, you have to get BKB, or even after your Shadow Blade.
10 seconds remaining.
Slark's a pretty risky pickup this early, though. We usually see Ehome ban out the Disruptor, as you mentioned, but early and strong Slark can still, I think, snowball versus a Disruptor. Slark versus Doom is definitely a weird matchup. Slark can still kind of heal it off if he's out of vision of the Doom.
Yeah, unless you get Aghanims. Like, before the Doom gets Aghanims, Slark is still fine with
pretty
it.
good.
Okay, so here's a stat. Burning has 6 recorded pro games with Slark, and he's
6.
won 2 of them.
Whoa.
So
Why not now pull it out again, right? Grand Finals, let's do it.
he might not be the one playing it, right? I've seen Super plays it.
Okay.
FY, 4-position roaming Slark. Come on, Winter.
You wish, dude. In your dreams.
Ooh, I see your Wraith King, and we're going to be the ones to play it this time.
Is this a support Wraith King?
What is happening right now?
Support
I
Wraith
think it's support.
might be, if they run safe lane Wraith King, it has to be like some mid Slug, like I mentioned, Super playing the Slug. But Slug doesn't really do too well mid lane. It depends a lot on what is he match up against, and like for MVP, sometimes they pick Slug, they put Q on like the mid row. They don't really care about what type of matchups they put him sometimes, because Slug can deal with like certain heroes, but I think overall, if he's up against a tough matchup, even though if he falls behind, you can still jungle with your Dark Tag. You get levels, so you can catch up in the jungle. So maybe they're feeling that even if Slug doesn't get a good start, you can just jungle and just catch up. Because they have Clockwork, right? Clockwork's going to make space, so your two cores are going to have a lot of time to farm.
I think FY is having a nightmare. Remember the last time where he played a Rubik against Bounty? You talked about you weren't fangirling over that Rubik versus the Magnus performance. A big part of that, as we see an anti-mage pick up, a big part of that was Bounty Hunter actually getting a dig on 5 in that game, and every time he saw the Rubik, and he was dead. So I think the Wraith King pick up here lets him tank up a lot more.
Support Wraith King, man.
Support Wraith King.
Support Wraith King.
You can't be a core this time, I think, against it, anti-mage.
They picked up an anti-mage. Were they anticipate, or are they anticipating that this is their core Wraith King, that they feel it's necessary to go for it?
It's still pretty good versus their lineup, even if it's a support.
They don't have much like reliable lockdowns to actually gank the aim. I mean, they have a stun from Wraith King, but you can blink away and dodge it. So they are lacking in terms of lockdown department. So AM is a very hard hero for them to deal with if he gets too farmed. And right now, because they have Doom, and then plus they have Anti-Mage, and then Bounty Hunter, it sort of forces like Vici to be on the aggressive team, like, on the aggressive side this time. Because you can't really let them farm and get a good early game. It's going to be very tough to deal with their heroes later.
A Zeus fan.
Zeus fan, man. That is peculiar here.
Zeus is really good versus Slark, because you can bolt him when he's in Shadow Dance.
Yeah, overall, this draft is, I think, looking much more favorable for Secret right now, because Vici, they have to shut down the AM.
Don't you think they have to contest like with something like Lich dual lane, and you have to contest the AM, right?
Well, you can't. They want a core for Super, right? Though, right? You don't want to put the Slark mid and have Wraith King as a core. I don't think for assist. But if you don't aggro, Anti-Mage and Doom are likely going to get a lot of farm.
One thing you can do is aggressive trialing against the AM, something that
but they don't have the right heroes to do that though.
AA, Wraith King, and then
they have two melee heroes.
It's mediocre. They can easily just swap and sack the Doom,
yeah,
for
and
example.
Secret can just make the off lane their safe lane and dodge your lane, like what they usually do.
So are you saying Vici drafted himself into a hole?
No, it's just they have a lot more pressure to actually make things happen. They can't let the game go too late without making the nice
unless
smoke
they
rotations
secure a lot of advantage in the early to mid phase, then they can go into the game. Like what happened to Team Secret the last game.
10 seconds remaining.
Well, okay, who's that? Back to TI4 we go.
They have to end the game like at a certain amount of time, and Death Prophet would allow them to do it.
Yeah.
And secondly, Death Prophet is a hero that is much better against Doom as well. As soon as you pop your ultimate, you're not worried about the Doom casting his ultimate on you, because you don't really care at that point.
Although the Slark doesn't really fit that well in their lineup, though. He's like the odd one out. Like if you want to end the game early, you'd want something that can push towers much earlier, like Lone Druid or Pugna or something like that. But I think like when you see this Anti-Mage plus Doom and then a Bounty Hunter to interrupt your farm and interrupt your split push, you have to go for this. It's not completely all in, because they do have Wraith King and Slark going into late game, as well as we've seen Death Prophet do fairly well sometimes, but it is pretty risky.
I mean, when you look at Team Secret's base defense, what is there? They don't have any long-range AoE, Bounty Hunters.
They can just go for Queen or Wind Ranger, then they have spam to clear out the waves, I think. Those two heroes are pretty good at delaying pushes, and like you mentioned, it's very important for them to have spam so they can actually delay the game for the AM and the Doom. So I think the two heroes that I mentioned, the Wind Ranger and the Queen of Pain, could be really good options here for Secret.
Just great to see these two teams go toe-to-toe. It's clear they are in their own bubble.
They might be going for something very weird though, because they're taking so much time.
10 seconds remaining.
They need, but they definitely need wave clear and to delay the game for the AM and the Doom.
Wind Ranger at your service.
All right. The Weehaw Wind Ranger.
The Wee Ranger.
Is that the new name?
what I hear.
And they might
Move
just,
over, Light
They
Heaven.
might just get a lot of, if they can actually get a lot of kills with the track and Wind Ranger, and Bounty can also help secure the early laning phase for Wind Ranger by getting a lot of ganks happen towards the mid lane. This game might just snowball of control for the Wind Ranger. I still feel like what Ben mentioned, Vici Gaming is under a lot of pressure to make a lot of things happen. They have to be the aggressors. They have to make the first move to pressure, take towers, and they cannot allow the game to drag on too late.
And that's all going to be really difficult with the Bounty Hunter scouting them out all the time. It's going to be difficult for like Wraith King to get ganked off. He's not the greatest early game. Same with AA.
I think the team sort of swapped positions this time around. In the second game, Secret had a draft that they had to outplay the opponents to win the game. And right now, Vici has the draft that they need to play very well. They need to outplay Secret, otherwise the game will be very difficult for them.
Well, wouldn't that make you a bit nervous if you're a Vici fan based on the last game we saw with some of those execution errors? We'll have to see if they're going to be able to sharpen up here as we hop in now. It's game number 3 of your grand final. Secret going against Vici Gaming, Latano Norcasters. It's LD and GoDz.
Thank you very much, Dakota. GoDz, we are live here at the Suntech Convention Center in Singapore, one of the biggest Dota 2 events ever and the biggest in Southeast Asia. This is exciting. A lot of money on the line. Over 4,000 people have come down. Thank you all for coming out. It's been a blast already. And game 3 now begins, tied up 1-1 in the best of 5.
And the drafts have taken a big turn. We saw a lot of just like a bit of a groove being found for both teams as far as their first meeting in the winner bracket finals and now in the grand finals. But game 3 here, Anti-Mage, Death Prophet, Wraith King, Slarks. These are picks we just have not seen from either team really at all this tournament.
An unusual smoke move by Vici. It's going to get broken. Puppey, oh, FY. He finds the long-range grab. They do have a pounce available. It's a connection. And with the chilly touch, this will be your first blood. Vici Gaming, a very unusual angle. Almost always GoDz nowadays. We either see like that one hero TP run up the ramp, one hero TP bottom and run into the jungle, or 5 heroes down bottom. You don't see that 5 hero rotation up mid very often.
No, not at all, and completely catches Secret by surprise. I imagine that was where Vici had done some homework. Anti-Mage secures Bounty Rune against Ice, and just seeing kind of Secret's level 1 movements and kind of predict like a path where they can find an early level 1 smoke gank such as that. Pai's actually being dusted here in the dire jungle. Could be in some trouble. F1, Fenrir.
They do not have the chilling touch, and the dust about to wear off. 1 or 2 seconds here. Will he have the mana for a stun? No, Pai. But another sentry. They're going for it. One more auto attack. That's all they need. Oh, the pounce! He's gonna live. He's gonna live. Dust in 5. They're gonna YOLO this dust possibly. Let's see. Let's see if they can find him. They're close. Maybe waiting on the crowd noise to figure it out.
Oh, they saw it.
Oh, there you go. They found him. Highlight die will die. My goodness. A 2-0 start for Vici. As far as the bounty runes go, they did get one for the mid-Death Prophet. Okay, GoDz. So you've had a few moments here to compose yourself after the Death Prophet pick.
Well,
why Death Prophet? Uh-oh.
Well, not for this.
Super caught mid. Power shot not available, but they've got the win run. They're going to run him down with auto attacks, perhaps salving up. Really committing for this turns with the nuke. Pai will slip away, and we have... Oh, barely. My goodness. 2-1 now. Okay. It's okay. All right. Are we done now, guys?
I hope not, LD. Very much for the 5-man. This is a game where Vici Gaming, they're on the dire side for the first time this series and will be looking to control Roche, take objectives much more than they have in past games around the Death Prophet, but very much a vulnerable laning stage, which Vici Gaming somewhat made up for initially with those early kills, but since respawning, Pai is just going to continue to camp this mid lane.
Setting up again mid on Super. Doesn't have the detection right now. Wee does have the level 1 shackle, but...
Wants to get him low first, and then look for the shackle. From full HP, they won't kill him unless he pushes up really deep.
This 2-hero rotation is scouted out now as F-Light pokes his head out. Where's that sentry for Super? Okay, now he's got a pack, so he'll have a little bit of protection against the bounty.
Super's in so much trouble. He's not getting a bottle anytime soon in this mid lane. Has 3 CS against Team has 9 CS.
Fenrir also maybe in trouble as Pai is going to bait out the chilling touch. Bounty Hunter already doing work. Yeah, sure, they got the kill on him, GoDz, but they've been forced to drop 3 sentries. They popped 2 dust to get that kill.
Those 2 kills that Vici got definitely helped him out a little bit, give him a bit of a gold boost, but it's still very much okay for Secret. They can deal with this. They've already got the pressure coming the way of the Death Prophet, and Super's not getting anything out of this lane. They may actually go down again here.
The pressure mounts. He does have the nuke cooling down. Shackle's going to be there. Pylai die. One auto attack and a nuke. Oh, just gets him. Super. Close call, but he's going to die. Weeha comes out on top again, getting another kill on the enemy mid. And no rotation in sight. Now FY will strut into the lane, but really, what can he do on his own? Just an auto attack here and there. Your 13-5 win range, your Death Prophet not only dying, but also not farming. Bottle already up. Boots are available. The Death Prophet experiment is quickly becoming a disaster here for Vici Gaming.
Yeah, they can always look to catch up around the Exorcism, which did receive a lot of buffs at the early level. So level 1 Exorcism a lot better at bringing down towers, and that's going to be kind of the comeback as far as Death Prophet is concerned. Looking at the big picture, Ice is getting a decent amount of XP out of this off lane, already level 3. The safe lane for Burning, free farm lane, much like the Anti-Mage's lane though, and we'll have to see what Vici can do once they hit their
that level 2 Scorched Earth, Burning. Say hello to the Bounty Hunter, does have the pounce, and they are looking to dive this. Are they fully committing? There's nothing else aside from the Orb of Venom, so one more auto attack. Where's the backup? Burning get a salve up.
Misery.
No Shuriken right now.
Oh, they got the dust as well. Pie's going to go down as well.
To turn it. All right, Misery goes down. The backup has arrived. Vici Gaming looking for Pie as well. They will find the counter kill. Well, mid lane, Super starting to get harassed. The level 3 power shot now online. And now down towards the bottom rune. Ice wanting to fight Puppey, but unfortunately, Battery Assault not too useful against Illusions. Tries to nuke him. FY's here. Weehi's committed the win run to go in. This might actually be an opportunity for a kill. They have the follow-up damage. Blasted away. The Wii Ranger slowed down.
This is
they needed that.
5-0 Ancient Apparition. Fenrir has gone from playing like 10 position support last game. He was supporting for a greedy 4-core lineup and played amazingly well. In this game, he starts off with 5 kills. So how the tides have turned for this player, and well, not really the ideal hero to be getting all these kills since he's most likely going to be dying at some point as that 5 position support. But either way, the important thing for Vici is they're getting the kills, they're doing well here in the early game, and now they've kind of salvaged the poor start that the Death Prophet initially had.
Yeah, it was about 1,000 gold lead at one point, very fast for Secret. And they are planting down additional sentries, hoping to find the Bounty Hunter and punish him on his rotation towards the mid lane. Ice continue to post up on him. Level 1 glimpse now. Puppey choosing to save that 3rd skill point. We'll pop out the cogs, try to mess up some of these pulls. And Pie is going to look to punish. Now on the run, rotating in as well. It's going to be Weeha. Shackle level 1 available. That's not going to connect. Still they look to chase. They've got the level 3 power shot. Not quite enough damage. Yeah, but they are pulling Vici Gaming strings, forcing them to react a bit. That is freeing up Burning though, GoDz, now level 6.
Yeah, that was actually just fine. That's Ice in a nutshell there. Create space, drew in 4 secret heroes. They even brought the AM off the lane, missing a couple of CS because he thought they could get the kill. Puppey didn't get the glimpse, Weeha didn't get the shackle, and just classic Ice. And that is good news for Vici Gaming. Super now gets the space he needs. He's level 6 and won't level up the ultimate just yet, but we'll see that, I imagine, sometime in the next couple of levels.
Stacking commences now for Vici Gaming as they've managed to secure 2 double stacks in their woods. Death Prophet used to be able to pop. Oh, the dust. Pylai die. He wanted the rune. Well, you got it now, Pie, but it comes at the price. Bounty rune grab, but the turn is there. Good news for Secret. They'll also grab a haste rune, and this one on Weeha, GoDz. I guess Vici will be happy it's only a level 1 shackle because we have all seen what the Wii Ranger can do with even the most modest of beginnings.
The big thing is here is for people not to kind of confuse this big kill lead Vici have for an early game lead. They're committing a lot of resources to get these kills. The sentries and dust they have to keep on buying is a big toll on their economy.
And Envy's free farming.
Yeah, Envy's free farming. All 3 of the secret cores are getting good amounts of farm. Doom is getting way more farm than the Clockwork is, so it's actually Secret who are ahead on overall net worth right now. Not like a measurement necessarily to be looked at too closely considering we're 7 minutes in, and there's plenty of stacks for Vici Gaming that they can fall back to farm, but very much not a Vici Gaming lead. They're dealing with the Bounty Hunter and preventing his early game from being effective, but it's not really coming at a huge advantage to their own lineup.
Still that Death Prophet mid, Super. Struggle continues a bit. The stacks may help him get back in the game. Not something the Bounty Hunter has really seen just yet, but Pie might be able to scout it out soon. The sentry is waiting for him. The ambush is set. He fall prey to it. Pylai die, playing it nice and safe here. He does see the supports. I think he may have even seen them run up and drop the sentry if he was carefully monitoring their inventories. And pings are coming out back and forth from both teams. So it looks like Ice.
Okay.
Over to the mid lane now.
Good
Death
move.
Prophet off to the jungle. And this means Envy totally free lane.
They can, well, free lane regardless. If Clock's down there, it's still a free lane as well. Death Prophet actually TP in. One hero who can contest this lane a bit better, but there's a glimpse. They don't want to glimpse him back. They want to kill him.
Not doing it. They want to go for the kill here. Super was not expecting this. And Envy blasts him off the map with a quick Omni Slash. Or not Omni Slash, Mono Void, excuse me.
That's really costly. That.
They're going to scout the stacks now. Death Prophet, she was just begun farming these.
Whoa.
Weeha has the level 4 power shot. One array of creeps down, looking for more. He's not only is the Death Prophet going to die, she's going to lose almost all of her farm. The pings are coming out, but I think it's already too late. Lost almost all the creeps here, aside from a couple of the big ones. They need the stun. They don't have a hook shot yet. They got to get Weeha trapped in the cogs. Battery assaults are going. Shackle the jukes. He just squirms away.
If you can get him in the cogs there, it was just too difficult. With Ice just being a little bit too far away. And
well, he didn't get the two big Dark Trolls. That's somewhat good news for Super.
Yep. We do see an early
but still, I
minus
mean,
on
it
burning.
requires 4 heroes to go there, GoDz. All the while, Anti-Mage farming. Pylai Dai has been given a ton of experience top. That trap backfired entirely for Vici. Really coming back into this one.
We see Envy actually rotate into the jungle now, giving Doom the safe lane. So very much a game of wealth distribution right now for Secret. Willing to give Anti-Mage a slightly slower Blink Dagger, as long as it means they're getting more farm across the board on heroes that kind of need some of these item timings. Misery getting a fast drums, for example, can just allow him to fight, and then he returns the favor by creating space for Eternal Envy later on by having these early game items.
Windranger having quite a good time mid, Weeha, despite that death. Sitting up there in the top 2. Does feel somewhat reminiscent of the Secret matches in the winner bracket finals, where every game it was Weeha and Envy on top of the net worth chart pretty much the entire game after the early laning stage.
And it feels very much Vici Gaming. They're almost too reliant on Clockwork hitting level 6 this game to kind of give them any momentum. Until that point, they're very limited in what they can do.
Moving towards Weeha. Back up.
Pi got very close to that sentry. Must have stayed just out of range.
I thought he ran past it, but he was just back.
Ice finally leeches his level 6. We'll move back to the high ground. I imagine it's smoke time for Ice, possibly FY as well.
Do you want to play the game of farm here, though, if you're up against Secret GoDz? They have Devour, Midas, now on the Doom, Track Gold, and an Anti-Mage Windranger, two of the better turbo farming cores.
You can't just go for your farm battle. You've got to mix in smoke ganks, finding pickoffs, using the Clockwork hookshot. I don't feel Vici Gaming have like a timer on their lineup to take all the towers, push and just end the game before it gets to the late game, but they can't just mindlessly farm and expect to win a late game battle. AM will hit a good Battle Fury timing. You've got good late game on the side of Secret, and Vici will very much look for timing windows around the Exorcism. So take a tower here or there, go for pickoffs, and also control the Roshan, which is something they can very much.
The hook, the jump on mid, it's on an illusion! Oh, Ice. That's not a great way to start off the Clockwork show. Weeha just sits back and relaxes mid. Normally it's Ice doing the baiting with the illusions, but not this game.
I mean, for now, they've got a Midas Slark kind of competing for farm with a jungling / laning anti-mage who's actually out-farming him right now and will continue to do so with the Battle Fury pickup when that comes online.
Envy's looking at a very fast Battle Fury here. Highlight Die again moves in. He loves to do this on the Bounty Hunter.
I believe he got
Plant down those
though.
Deep Observer wards. Level 6 already. He's got Track GoDz. Very fast here.
Oh, Kuria, okay, over the trees. Will be kept safe.
That's the Void Stone for Super as well, but we talked about Death Prophet as a pushing hero, and it will be Weeha. Blasting down the mid tower. Now Burning even forced to TP, and he's too late. He's going to miss on the pounce. The Dark Pact and back off. Now FY a bit late to the party, and then the power shot. That one won't miss. Now they've got the track going on to FY. He's not yet level 6. He's got to be careful about his initiation burning. Almost caught out Puppey committing the static storm here. They will back away. Pi also retreating, but now the track vision, making life a lot trickier. Ice. They are going to get the D ward here. The bounty was in the woods, but still. Very reactive play from Vici.
Yeah, and both teams just slightly misfiring. First, the Slark TP. It's really hard for Vici to, unless the Clockwork initiates, they're not really guaranteed to find kills with their safe lane farmer TPing in, which is a big investment for Vici Gaming at this stage when they are being out-farmed. And then similarly, Disruptor slightly misfires with the glimpse, kinetic field static storm combo onto the Slack, which may have led to a kill if they'd been able to properly lock him down. But either way, Secret come out on top. They're out farming Vici Gaming. They take the tier 1 mid tower without it getting denied and continue to look to apply pressure here.
Moving towards Ice. Now Pylai continues his deep roam through the enemy jungle. See burning. Seems like he wants to fight GoDz, but he's not all that farmed at this point.
I don't think Vici, they've got 2 Midases. Like right now, they're already down a significant margin as far as farm goes, and going for a double Midas, that's 4,000 gold worth of just farm that doesn't really contribute much to a team fight. They'll find pickoffs, but any full-on 5v5 fight will not be favorable to them. Yeah, you're versing an anti-mage who a lot of his farm is in items that don't help him fight until he's got like a Vlad's plus Manta style, but level 2 Mana Void alone can offer a lot. Death Prophet, you have to chew through that mana pool a lot to get out your Crypt Storms as well as the Exorcism, and that's going to lead to potential cleanup for Eternal Envy in a fight.
Well, going back to what you said earlier, we often look at Death Prophet the way... Oh, smoke down the mid lane here, Secret. Looking for the jump, it's a short glimpse back, but Super still good. Oh, just skirts away! And now pops the ultimate. Secret, they want to disengage. They have baited out the open. FY's here to look to turn it. Ice Blast coming through, connects on Misery, and then Ice! Oh! Static Storm by Puppey saving the day there. Almost got the 2-hero cog grab. Instead, Weehaw gonna back off, but Puppey will get run down. The sacrificial play. Saving the Wii Ranger, though. Definitely seems like it was worth it in the end for the Disruptor. Also worth it for Vici. We got 2 kills, save Super, now move down mid.
Just getting the great initiation there. Secret again, misfiring a little bit when they went in with the glimpse onto Super. If they're going to be the ones jumping in and going in first, they've got to make sure they latch on and get the kill and prevent Super in that situation from getting off the Exorcism or any spells, unless he's going to die instantly. So Secret give a little bit back to Vici Gaming.
I wish I had this back in top.
CP top out for Misery. Except his own Midas online, so like you said, it's very much a game of farm for both teams. Of course, Envy the one truly winning that battle for now. Up to 8k net worth nearly. Generally, we have seen the Vlad's Manta build as kind of the standard anti-mage build, GoDz. Any reason to deviate from that here?
Nope.
All right, so then for that, we'll see if he wants to fight or if he wants to play the rat game. As FY, mad that Puppey's dewarding him. Oh. Instead, he'll take out his frustration on the Sentry Ward.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, for now, Vici Gaming are basically saying, well, we can't stop, they can't do anything about the anti-mage free farm, so looking to make the best of their side of the map with the double Midas. FY is going to do his typical greedy FY things where he tries to position himself such that he can be a core hero, and Fenrir, as usual, kind of suffering as a result. But how often do you see a 6-0 hero have the lowest net worth at 15 minutes in? 1,600 net worth when he's 6-0.
He got all those kills really early, and that's literally all he's gotten ever since.
Yep.
9 CS.
Ice at bottom.
He does have dust here, but that's because the Wii Ranger is nearby. That's why Ice doesn't want to fight. Gonna get shackled. Power shot connects as well. He runs in. He's committing onto Weehaw. Silent. Pushed back by the cogs. Earn is there. Jules, that's gonna set up for round 2. And round 2 is death for Weehaw.
Secret just, they're spread so thin and they're kind of getting slightly baited here by Vici Gaming. It's very much like Vici Gaming, much weaker in an overall fighting sense. They're out farmed, but every time these little clashes break out, Vici Gaming bring in 3-4 heroes and Secret only have a couple. They're just overestimating like how far ahead they are and trying to use these bounty hunters to kind of force the issue too much on the side of Team Secret.
To some extent, it really is space created though, as we continue to see LNB just racking up the creep score. 170 CS, the next closest a Slark with 100. He's 70 up, GoDz.
Yeah, it's going to be a hard game to deal with an anti-mage. And looking at the side of Vici Gaming, you kind of always, like, you give anti-mage free farm, have you got the lamp to deal with him? They haven't got the best damage to lock him down. When they want to come in Exorcism, maybe you can kill him off, but once he has Manta, he can get out of the Death Prophet silence. A Blink Wraith King stun can be disjointed as well by a Manta style.
You can see Envy's just, he's not afraid. He's farming mid under their tier 2. And he knows there's almost nothing that they can really do about it. Maybe if they get that hook into like a silent super, then they'd have a chance, but you see super bottom and kill potential simply isn't there. Puppey. So he's maybe worried about Vici Gaming diving him, so he'll try to stall things down, clear out the wave,
deep pushing,
get the hell
storm.
out. Yeah.
Not a way you'd normally
Stalling
see
tactics and then escape tactics, but they're going to keep on going.
Showing some good understanding of how where things stand right now, that they aren't going to defend that bottom tier 1, and 80-second cooldown, and will be back up before another fight breaks out.
Normally he's just split pusher, but this time Turtle Envy going in. They are going to hook now. They have the silence available. The cog back into the silence. Now they get the Crimp Storm going. Exorcism is not enough. Chasing instead onto Weeha. Can't get the kill either. This mobility from Secret GoDz, it really seems to be too much for Vici here in the mid game.
Yeah, and they've got mobility. Vici Gaming have not the best catch. Clockwork alone, he needs follow-up to get any of these kills. He's not a solo killer, and until you see a Wraith King with decent damage items and Blink Dagger, we're not going to see pickoffs come their way.
Nah, that's my haste turn, says Puppy. Just toy with Super now. Well, how do they deal with this, GoDz? They're getting outmaneuvered. The Death Prophet ult's yet to take big objectives.
They go for the late game. They hope for Eternal Envy to create some art, as they say, perhaps later on, because they don't have an anti-mage counter. They can keep on farming. Death Prophet does scale very well with items. Same for the Slark, but it's always going to be a matter of you try and group up, do what your lineup's meant to do around the Death Prophet, which is kind of 5-man, take Roche, take towers, but Envy's always going to be split pushing, and you haven't got the lineup to catch and punish that split push. So very much a waiting game for Vici Gaming, where they'll wait out the mistakes and wait for opportunities to come to them.
They want Burning. They're going to start with the Static Storm. They then Doom him, track him as well. This is a big old pile of gold, and they're going to get it for 4 heroes. Ice, Ice, Ice. He knows they need to get something as the reply, but he gets shackled. Ice, Ice, Ice. Unable to get the hook off there. Mid-animation gets pushed back. They just look for the staggered retreat rocket cooling down. Dire team is going to continue pursuit, but it's dangerous. And little do they know, there's actually an Aghanim now on the Wind Ranger as Envy takes full advantage of this. Pushing him bottom. He's pulling VG Gaming apart. FY will TP in, but he's got no backup here. He's not even skilled up the ultimate yet, and it looks like even if he does, he's still going down. Again, the grab, Ewo back to top lane, we're Super. Shackle coming through, not going to connect. They get off the Ice Blast on Sweet Ranger. Can they finish him off though? Oh, able to do so. Ice 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 getting glimpsed back out of the picture after the hook was committed. Weeha runs away. Everywhere Vici move, they're just getting outnumbered, outdamaged, completely outplayed.
This game's starting to look very grim for Vici Gaming. They've got to make something happen, and something happen soon. Playing a farming game with the Midases while they're getting out-farmed, out-split pushed, and even the team fight's not working at all for Vici right now. Track money as well.
Just look at Envy's net worth. This is feeling like an Alchemist game.
And that's a hero who's not getting track gold. He's not coming to the fight.
Imagine if he does. No need to for Secret for now. He farmed the enemy Ancient. Just not only is he doing a good job with his own movement, guys, but they've got great wards for him. So he knows generally where it's safe to go. Vici Gaming showing quite a few heroes on the map. He blinks back in bottom. Pretty much has the Manta style now. Just afford it.
There's just too many threats on the map right now. It's the AM who can split push. It's the Secret team fight with the Disruptor and the Wind Ranger Shackles. It's the pick-off potential of a Doom and Bounty Hunter. And on top of that, there's like all these crazy X-Factor things, like an AM who can even sneak his way into the Roshan pit. There's too many things you've got to be concerned about for Vici Gaming.
Long last Vici gonna find the Bounty Hunter, but this is fool's gold. The least important hero as far as deaths go.
It's very much that Vici Gaming can only be ever really solving 1 or maybe 2 of these problems at any given time.
Misery on the dive. He's chasing after Ice Ice Ice. He knows quite a few heroes were mid. Doesn't look like that Doom will be quite enough damage, though he will drop low to this. Be forced all the way back to base. And, well, he will survive, but he's also out of the picture. That means your big team fight specialist not available to help the mid lane, where Super's big glimpse into a Static Storm. Ice Blast coming in, will connect on 2, but they need more backup. They don't have it. Super's down. Fenrir going for the TP out. Monovoid says no again. Envy slamming the door on the Ancient Apparition once more.
And the comeback
for this flawless showing here down the stretch.
It just doesn't feel like there is the comeback potential there. The Death Prophet has been a non-factor. The farming Slark has got a Shadow Blade, but very much an item which you can't fight into Team Secret with. And if he ever gets shackled or caught in a Static Storm or Doom, he's likely dead.
7 to 11, that is like the most misleading kill score I've ever seen. My God, they are far behind.
I mean, this is just Pylodine in a nutshell. One of those players who probably has one of the worst KDAs in like competitive Dota for any player, but it just doesn't tell the whole story. What he gets done for his team, very much like just visionary tactics, like giving his team like the scouting information they need, creating space just by tanking the ganks for the rest of his teammates. And well, we've seen on past teams, we're seeing it here with Team Secret. The space he's creating, just giving Secret a massive Game 3 lead.
Yeah, we saw it in the Rubik game as well. Had those 5 early deaths, didn't seem to phase him in the slightest. This Burning and move in Ice Blast, quite off the mark. There's a Doom available soon, but Burning thinking about going in anyway. He's going to commit onto Puppey. Rocket's going to come through. Needs to hit that count, actually. Might not even matter. He gets Doom. Chased on the way out. Needs to get to the fog here. The hook comes through from Ice. Trying to slow down Misery, and, well, it will save Clark from potential Doom, but still, Misery able to walk away.
Once the Doom gets an Aghanim Scepter, this game gets a whole lot harder for the Slark. Looks like Shivers will be picked up first, but I do imagine Ags at some stage will be picked up just to counter the Slark.
It just feels like it's always space created for Secret. If a hero dies, 3 other heroes farm. Or you get a track kill, or you take a tower. Like, there's always some trade, and it's usually a favorable one for them.
And the crazy thing is Secret are far enough ahead in terms of golden items that they probably could just 5v5 fight and not lose the team fight, but it's much safer and more effective to play the style that they're doing right now, which is just split the map, go for like the pick-off trades, know that they are out-farming their opponents heavily.
Burning, he's found the hero he wants. He pounces on the Puppey, will blow him up. This could be an opening for Vici. They surge forward,
It's a Roche trade.
The rest get away. And what do you know? Again, space created.
Yep. One of the
story of this game.
The better trades Vici have got, a tier 1 and a pick-off, but for Secret, they just know they're far enough ahead. Getting an Aegis means Envy can just split push without fear.
Speaking of Envy, he's looking to cut off the backliners. Misery will get surrounded by 3, but Envy's also going to be here. Has the Mana Void available, looking for the opening. Dark Pack coming out for Bernie as he tries to turn this one around the Shadow Dance. Not quite enough. They do get rid of the Aegis, but can they fight through round 2 is the real question here. Envy's coming back, and Envy is mad. Bernie retreating out. Follow-up is going to be here from Weehaw. Might be able to get that shackle off, just needs a bit of vision. There's the Mana Void, and one more auto tech should do him in. Track Gold into Secret's pockets. They hunt for more FY. Blinking out, but Envy about to blink forward. Has the Manta style. Will FY be able to get off the ultimate? There's the stun dodge. No, he actually canceled the stun. Still going to go down. It didn't have the mana in the end. Didn't get off the ultimate. No reincarnation. Another takedown. Another track kill for Secret.
Team Secret just now
They
going to go.
did lose the Aegis, I suppose. Yeah. That's about it.
That's what the Ace is for, winning you a team fight at this stage. And Envy now 4K gold. Another big item will be coming soon. Does get poked around by Burning, but not much Burning can do to fight into this AM. Oh, he's out of mana.
This is trouble. Mana Void. Currently not available on cooldown for 20 seconds. Ice hooking in though. Is he getting out of here? There's a glimpse when he tries to run. Static Storm drop. Not going to connect on anyone, but that's okay. Focus Fire will kill off Ice. Zoning back the other heroes. Now Fenrir getting glimpsed and devoured, quite literally. Another track kill for Secret. Rampaging through Vici Gaming here in game number 3.
Yeah, it just feels like options are running out for Vici Gaming. You're not going to turn around the game against an Anti-Mage with this much farm. If Envy wants, he can just play it ultra safe, pick up something like a Heart of Terrassment. He's never dying, but doesn't even need to go for the safe option. That's when you know you're in a fantastic position for Team Secret. And it's not just about Envy right now. Weehaw, with his solo kill potentials, picked up a Crystallis, so there's more right-click DPS coming out. Misery with the Shivers is doing huge damage when he gets the Doom off on a key target as well. And for Vici Gaming, the Death Prophet experiment doesn't seem to be working.
How much of it is the Death Prophet versus like the lack of help that he got? Because he didn't have sentries when the lane started. The supports were occupied top lane. Do you pin it more on the hero, or do you think it's more about just the lack of support and daily pressure Secret put on it?
I think it's a lot of it's the hero. It's very surprising to see it picked into a Bounty Hunter, one of the heroes best at pressuring the mid lane. And you picking Death Prophet is just very risky there.
They could have gone for a safer option, the Super Dragon Knight, maybe a TA, and well, Super shackled all over the place. Literally the million-mile shackle. He's still dead. Twilight Eye will be the trade, but again, you're trading a core for support, and you're not done yet. Envy, Uzi 1, looking for Burn, or Ice rather, is gonna find him. We'll find the kill.
He's got a relic. I guess he's just going to pick up the Abyssal Blade now for some insane kill potential.
Are you sure about that?
Well, I talked about Eternal Envy art.
I've seen his anti-mage rapiers
the Mona
before.
Lisa of Eternal Envy games right now. If he picks up a rapier and loses it, but...
Yeah, well, Xiao would really be calling him an artist then.
is under attack.
Testing over on the
Well, I mean, he could pick up a rapier, and I don't see him dying is the crazy thing.
3,000 gold right now. He could definitely go for it if he wants to. Misery getting caught out. Chain stun blasted down. They do also manage to get the super ultimate off, but the shackle shot doing a lot of work. FY dropping low. He's got the ultimate. He'd love to be able to get it off for once this fight, but no, super's down. And Envy's jumping in. He's also going to finish off the Wraith King ultimate, forcing FY back. Shackle. For once it won't connect. But then they glimpse it back. You're not going anywhere, FY. Sliced up, spit out. Vici Gaming get clocked. And although this might be Vici Gaming's home turf to some extent, Secret getting a lot of love from the crowd here as they move ahead to a 2-1 advantage.
Yeah, we see the first kind of breakthrough as far as the overall strategies and drafts go. Two neck-and-neck games that could have gone either way, followed up by finally Secret kind of fitting in an anti-mage pick that Vici Gaming were not ready for, did not have answers to, and the Death Prophet just was not the answer this game.
You see smiles, pretty relaxed conversation for Secret as they walk away with the win here in game number 3. They have Vici Gaming on match point, GoDz. If Vici Gaming want to come back and take the series, they have to win 2 in a row, or they will finish second here at Nanyang.
Yeah, and for Vici Gaming, I mean, they've at least got the confidence zone. They've taken a game off Secret to begin with. They can draft around. They can go toe-to-toe against this team, but very much all it took was one kind of, I would say, slightly questionable draft, and then things just get crushed. They have to play and draft perfectly, and even then, they're only on 50-50 kind of odds against Team Secret, who have just found their best form we've seen them in since their formation with this new roster.
Well, the teams are going to have a break, guys, but we're not done yet. We're going to hand it back to the analysts and Kano guy to break down this game 3 and get ready for game 4 with Vici Gaming trailing 1-2.
Thank you, LD and GoDz, back at the panel now. And, well, the most one-sided game we've seen in this series so far. You wouldn't think so by looking at the score, but Team Secret pretty commanding position all the way through. And, well, Lumi, what do you think? Does this stem all the way back from the draft, what we felt was a bit awkward from Vici Gaming from start to finish?
It was definitely the draft. Like our fellow analysts pointed out, Vici Gaming definitely need to outplay and out-execute Team Secret. They chose the dire side. They need to take Roshan repeatedly, but the problem for me is when you see Secret on the dire side, they have heroes like Shadow Fiend, hero that you could take the Roshan very quickly or push or counter push. The only hero that Vici could have took Roshan with was with the DPO. But if you take the Rosh with DPO, then your cooldown is, you can't push a tower with it. You can't really take advantage of that Rosh advantage. So for me, the odd heroes out were Slark and DP. I felt like even though they got a couple of kills, they didn't really do too much with the dire advantage.
Do you agree that they felt a bit awkward? Do you kind of see a way of what Vici Gaming were kind of going for with their draft and it just didn't kind of pan out for them? What do you think?
I think they just had too many tasks that they needed to do in the early game. They had to control the Bounty Hunter, protect the Death Prophet, kind of counter to the Doom in lane, and shut down AM's farm. And you can't do all of those in the early game. And it's just, you know, when you have way worse late game than an opposing team, you're forced to make these sort of choices, and it didn't pan out the way they wanted it to. But, you know, you can kind of see what they're going for. They have some Doom counters, right, the Death Prophet and the Wraith King, as well as the Ancient Apparition to deal with Scorched Earth. They had the tools kind of to do Roshan, but that's panning on a perfect early game from Vici.
Well, what do you think about Game 3 with their Winter? Doom finally gets a win. I guess that's something, but what was your take on Game 3?
I think Bounty Hunter won them the game. It wasn't Doom that won them the game. I felt like even though he died so many times, but the big thing was he forced out the first set of sentries on the supports when they were trying to go for the kill on him. So they didn't have the sentry on the mid lane. And then he died, he TP'd to middle, and he killed the mid hero because they didn't have a sentry there. For me, that was like worth already. And they had to win the early game to be able to actually contest Secret. But the Bounty Hunter, even though he died, he was able to help the Wind Ranger win the lane. So for me, the Bounty Hunter did his job in the early game.
The funny thing that game was A had like a 6-0 streak, and he had like a 1,600 net worth. But the problem is, AM finished Battlefield around like 14-minute mark, standard time, and then he got a kill on AA, so he jumped by like 600-700
You know
gold.
the 6-0 goal, he bought 3 sets of sentries at the start. That was all the gold.
What a selfless guy.
And AM got 600 gold out of the 600.
They killed the Bounty Hunter like, what, 3-4 times after that, but doesn't even matter. It's not the point like for them to kill the Bounty Hunter. They need to be able to secure objectives, maybe gang the AM, but they didn't have the right heroes to kill him either because they need high level on silence to be able to lock him down. But by the time they had that, Envy had Manta offering at his Battle Fury, so there was no way they could have dealt with the anti-mage. So basically, once they didn't win the lanes, the game was pretty much over for them.
We can talk a bit more about it after the break, but Vici Gaming, what can they do now going into game number 4? Is it worth going back a bit on what seemed to make it work? Last game was the 3rd time only in this tournament that Queen of Pain didn't even make an appearance at all. Is it something they might need to have to reach for again?
Probably. I think they need to maybe focus more on winning their lanes. Like I think that the lanes they had this game was just way too weak for the lineup they had. They needed to win the lanes and then transition into the mid to late game. But like the Roshan, yeah, they wanted the Roshan, but they lost their lane so hard they can't even touch the Roshan. So I felt like Queen of Pain may be the hero that can actually help them by controlling the lanes better and help them transition into the mid game better. So maybe that hero is something that Vici should look to go for.
It's not just the Queen of Pain. I don't think Shadow Fiend was pick or ban on either side. I felt like Shadow Fiend would have maybe been better than DP on the mid lane. To me, I feel like Vici Gaming needs to draft what they're more comfortable with. It was the first big Clockwork. I talked about how Ice hero pool is so big that they generally pick his hero towards the end of the draft because he's so versatile. And then you have the 3rd pick Slark. And again, the burning stat, now he's, well, 7 games and he only has 2 wins on the hero. So I feel like just go back to your comfort picks. You're an amazing team. You're at the final for a reason. I don't know why try something.
Overall, I think their strategy just needs to deal better into the late games just so they can be more patient in how they play the game. You can tell just like, okay, we have to do this, we have to do this, we have to do this. They can't ever sit back and relax and, you know, okay, we have this game, let's just wait for Roche. And it's never that kind of calm pace that you're looking for when you're in this sort of series versus Secret.
Fair enough. Well, with that said, we'll cut to a small break, and when we get back, it's match point for Secret. What could be the last game of the Nanyang Grand Finals? When we return, it's going to be game number 4 of Vici Gaming going against Team Secret. We'll see you soon.